Hello and welcome. Silrace here to talk about CryTek suing Star Citizen, or suing Cloud Imperium Games to be precise. Few things out of the way before I get talking to that main point. Background footage is me reusing old footage. Unfortunately the case, because I forgot to update Star Citizen. I couldn't when my net was down and then I just forgot about it. So reused footage. Also, I have no law degree whatsoever. I have had to figure out a bunch of things when it comes to law on my own and through help and so on over the years, but I am not a lawyer. I am just somebody who's looking at this from outside, who has grasp of basic concepts of the law. I am not going to even try and talk lawyer stuff on this. Also, I am not a journalist. I'm not a gaming journalist. I'm not a journalist of any kind. I don't pretend to be. I don't really want to be either. So there is that particular bit. So let's talk about this then. As somebody who is not a spokesperson for CryTek or for Star Citizen, I have no business association with either. I'm just somebody who enjoys the concept of Star Citizen, has played many games which use CryEngine. I'm just somebody who uses video games for amusement and fun. Alright? Now yes, I have money invested in Star Citizen. That does not cloud my opinion or change my opinion on this at all. If you think so, then that's on you to make that decision. Listen to the end of the video and see it for yourself. Or hear for yourself, to be precise, dear viewer. Anyway. So first of all, I am going to leave out all of this lawyer stuff. I took a quick look at the various bullet points and so forth listed for, breach of contract and so on, not representing CryTek as promised and so on. I don't have access to that contract. I don't know how binding those are. I don't know if they are real accusations. I assume they are because it's been filed in the court, so on. I don't honestly know. So I'm not going to try and explain it out. Also, I am not a lawyer. And also I'm going to leave out the whole personage thing with like the one person being on the CryTek side of things to negotiate this whole deal and then moving on to work for Cloud Imperium Games. There is things like this happening. And frankly, welcome to corporate headhunting. That stuff is brutal and bloody and it happens all the time, and this actual transfer from CryTek to Cloud Imperium Games may not have had anything at all to do with this particular thing, this particular licensing and so on. At all. I don't know, I have no hard facts, I don't have soft facts, I just know that this happened. So I'm not going to also discuss that. What I'm going to discuss is what I see as a consumer, as somebody who's interested in Star Citizen and so forth. First of all, this is obviously going to kick up traction with all the people all the naysayers who keep saying the Star Citizen is just a big scam and so on. Of course it's going to kick up traction with those. Everything which is successful, which is big, which is popular, has its haters in this world we live in. That's just how this stuff works. Whether they hate and dislike this stuff, well, dislike, if hate is too strong a word for you to handle, use dislike anyway. Whether they dislike it because it is huge popular and they just want to be different, or they just don't like it for any other myriad of reasons. Whatever. Kind of same way you could go and talk about Steam early access games being scam, and I don't necessarily see anybody doing that. All these folks who call Star Citizen scam. Somebody out there maybe also calling all the Steam early access titles scam and going on their forums and talking about it being scam. Hands off to you, you're telling people how to spend money responsibly, hopefully. So yeah. But in general, everything that is popular has its haters, and to me it's just amusing. I don't care, you call it scam, that's entirely up to you. what you think of the game and business in general. Now, what I do see, however, is that we still have Mark Hamill working with Cloud Imperium Games for Squadron 42. Now, Squadron 42 and the Star Citizen being split into 2 games, this is part of the lawsuit thing as well. But the fact is, when you have a very known, outspoken, kind of big celebrity person like Mark Hamill working on your product, working on Squadron 42, that means Cloud Imperium Games basically has to defend this stuff. They are kind of forced to defend this stuff, simply because, well, they are going to ruin their reputation otherwise. By now, most of us know Mark Hamill is very outspoken. He's not too afraid of revealing his own opinions on various things, whether it is his opinion on how Luke is portrayed in this upcoming last Star Wars movie, not Star Citizen movie, Star Wars movie. Star this and star that always get confused over time. Anyway, so yeah, from that point of view alone, I do believe Cloud Imperium Games is obviously going to defend the product, because there are some naysayers who are already calling that, well, this gives Cloud Imperium Games an out. They can just, back off, drop the Star Citizen entirely and just blame CryTek for it. And they can kind of do that, but that is obviously going to absolutely destroy the Cloud Imperium Games brand, the RSI and Star Citizen brand as well. So I don't see that happening myself. I don't personally see that happening. Of course, it could. Nothing is for certain at this point. But I just don't see it happening anytime soon. This kind of stuff is very likely to be settled outside of court anyway. What that settlement will actually entail, how much money it will cost and so forth, nobody knows yet. But it's very likely to be settled outside of court anyway. That I know for a fact. In general, however, I do not see Cloud Imperium Games backing away from Star Citizen just because of this. It may eat from the crowdfunding funds, essentially. And that is something they will have to take up with their backers. That needs to be clearly told to us. And frankly, personally, I would be kind of okay with that. I did put money into Star Citizen, knowing that I may get absolutely nothing in return. I might not. I went in knowing that. I have put in my money, and frankly, all of that is spending money which I would have spent on some other entertainment anyway, whether it would be more different and other video games, or some other stuff like board games which I enjoy. I didn't put my last lunch money or anything of the sort into Star Citizen, I never would. And frankly, if I offer you a deal, if let's say $50 is all you have for the next 2 weeks, and if I offer you a deal in exchange for those $50, I may give you nothing or I may give you something. If you take that deal, you may want to reevaluate how you spend money in general. Because don't put your last lunch money into things like this. If you're barely scraping by, then wait and see. The game is going to come out to you, or if it doesn't, then you lost absolutely nothing. So all the people who are, going berserk over that, probably a very small minority or whatever. And frankly, you didn't really think through what you were putting your money into, in all honesty, in that case. If Star Citizen gets shut down, am I going to be sad? Yes. Am I going to be mad I lost my money? No. I knew what I was getting into when I put money into this project. Anyway. Overall, my thoughts on it is like, this was eventuality. Because I have followed Star Citizen's development over the years, and at one point when they moved to Lumberyard, CryTek logo vanished. Talking about this also made me realize that I don't have any footage or pictures of where there was still a CryTek logo. I am not a journalist, I don't care that I don't have any of that, I just realized it. However, when the CryTek logo was suddenly gone and so forth, and they moved entirely to using Lumberyard, something like this was bound to happen if they have a contract which, you know, says that CryTek should be represented in their product in various ways. I am fairly sure they planned on this occasion somehow, and if they didn't, then, well, they really didn't think themselves through the whole thing. I'm fairly certain somebody actually thought that through though, at least to certain degree, certain something degree or another. In the end, however, my thoughts, to sum this all up, I don't see the problem, I don't see the big deal. We have so many of these court cases, lawsuits and threats being thrown around in this industry anyway, that this is not a big deal. Everybody has to defend their contracts. What comes out of this, we will just have to wait and see. Am I sad? Am I mad? Am I calling doom and gloom? No, I'm not. I have not seen what comes to be yet. I don't have a magic crystal ball which tells me that. I would love to have one. If somebody has a spare, please give me one, or tell me where I can get one. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, for listening, and anybody who is, you know, getting scared and frustrated and whatever, just calm down. Wait and see. This is just my personal view and opinion. I very much doubt Star Citizen Squadron 42 gets shut down over this. I very much doubt it. They have too big a loyal fan base at this point for that to really happen. Anyway, thank you very much for watching and listening.